You've seen the pictures, Sri Lanka's southern coast all over your feed, looking like a screensaver with a tan. Every swipe reveals another impossibly perfect beach, the kind of place you imagine only exists in dreams or on the glossy pages of a travel magazine. The palm trees are always perfectly windswept, the sand is always golden, and the water, it's so turquoise it almost looks fake, like someone cranked the saturation up to 11. Pristine, empty beaches, a lone yogi, water so blue it makes a Smurf jealous. The kind of place where you expect to find inner peace just by breathing in the salty air. You picture yourself as the only person for miles meditating as the sun rises, the world silent except for the gentle lap of waves. You book a ticket, ready to star in your own private travel documentary. You imagine cinematic moments, stepping off the plane, feeling the tropical heat, hopping into a tuk-tuk with the wind in your hair and thinking, this is it, I've made it. You imagine king coconuts, sea breezes, and monk-level zen. Maybe you'll finally learn to meditate, or at least look good pretending for the gram. You're ready for a week of pure, undisturbed bliss. But reality? It's less eat, pray, love, and more eat, pray, dodge the tuk-tuk. The moment you step outside, you're swept into a current of honking horns, weaving scooters, and the unmistakable energy of a place that's very much alive. That empty beach? It's a lively, bustling hub. Fishermen haul in their morning catch, kids play cricket in the sand, and vendors call out, selling everything from spicy snacks to fresh fruit. The air is filled with laughter, chatter, and the occasional squawk of a seagull. The zen is there, but it's in the laughter of fishermen, the chaos of the waves, and the energy of a place that doesn't pause for your perfect photo. It's a different kind of peace, one that comes from being swept up in the rhythm of real life, not from escaping it. The real Sri Lanka isn't a postcard. It's a living, breathing, hilarious show. Every street corner is a stage, every market a performance, and every local a character with a story to tell. It's unpredictable, unscripted, and far more interesting than anything you'll find in a filtered photo. The glossy brochure version, a wax apple compared to the juicy, real thing. The colors are brighter, the flavors bolder, and the experience is messier in the best possible way. Ancient traditions meet modern hustle, serene beauty meets loud, messy life. Here you'll see stilt fishermen working beside speedboats, centuries-old temples next to bustling cafes, and monks sharing the street with surfers. Forget the quiet retreat. You're getting a front-row seat to the most entertaining show on earth. Festivals erupt in color, street performers draw crowds, and every day brings a new surprise. My journey started with the same Instagram-fueled misconception. I thought I was coming for the perfect photo, but I stayed for the stories, the chaos, and the laughter. What I got was a lesson in organized chaos, creative capitalism, and the art of resilience. The people here hustle with a smile, turning every challenge into an opportunity, every day into an adventure. So buckle up, we're leaving the Instagram filter behind. Get ready to experience Sri Lanka as it truly is. Vibrant, unpredictable, and absolutely unforgettable. The beaches are stunning, golden sands, palm trees, turquoise water. From afar it's paradise. Up close it's a community center. Dogs chase crabs, kids play cricket, fishermen mend nets with lightning speed, tuk-tuks zip by, their horns a cheerful soundtrack. This isn't a manicured resort, it's vibrant, unfiltered life. The chaos? That's the best part. Vendors weave through sunbathers, fishermen haul boats ashore, villagers help without a word. It's teamwork without memos. Corporate retreats wish they could bottle this. The sounds, waves crashing, crows cawing, bread tuk-tuks beeping, people living, every sense is engaged, sometimes all at once. Try to watch the sunset and someone will try to sell you a wooden elephant. It's not annoying, it's part of the show. The chaos is the culture, and it's beautiful. You're not just a visitor, you're part of the dance. Welcome to the Southern Coast's organized chaos. Let's talk about stilt fishermen, the living icons of Sri Lanka's southern coast, instantly recognizable and endlessly fascinating. These men, balanced high above the waves on slender wooden poles, have become a symbol of the island's unique traditions and ingenuity. You've seen the photos, men perched on poles, serene and focused, casting their lines into the turquoise water as if time itself has slowed down just for them. It looks ancient, almost spiritual, like a meditative ritual passed down through countless generations, blending seamlessly with the rhythm of the ocean. But in reality, it's more like yoga on a pogo stick, an acrobatic feat that demands constant focus, flexibility, and a willingness to get wet if you slip. Balancing up there takes serious core strength, nerves of steel, and a stubborn determination to stay upright no matter how choppy the sea or how strong the wind. And here's a surprise. The so-called ancient tradition actually began after World War II. It was born out of necessity, not nostalgia, as fishermen adapted to crowded shores and dwindling fish stocks by inventing a new way to reach the catch. The catch is small, the work is tough, and the sun is relentless. Hours spent balancing under the blazing sky often yield only a modest handful of fish, barely enough to justify the effort. But here's the twist. These days, the real catch isn't in the water. It's the steady stream of tourists, drawn by the spectacle and eager for the perfect photo. Many stilt fishermen have become performers, posing patiently for your photos, for a fee of course. Their fishing poles are now as much props as tools of the trade. Want a picture? There's a price. The photo op is part of the experience and the fishermen know exactly how to work the camera and the crowd. Want to climb up and try it yourself? That's extra. For a few more rupees you can test your balance and see just how challenging this tradition really is. It's a well-oiled machine now, fishing rods for rent, friendly smiles, and a seamless blend of old-world charm and modern-day hustle. Tradition meets technology, as fishermen check their smartphones between photo sessions, adapting to the times while keeping one foot, well, one leg, firmly on the pole. You came searching for authenticity, and instead you found entrepreneurship at its most creative. The stilt fishermen have turned their craft into a business model. They've mastered the pivot, switching effortlessly between fishing and performing, adapting to the changing tides of tourism and tradition. You leave with a photo, a story, and maybe a new appreciation for the art of creative capitalism, where survival means evolving with the times. The real balancing act? It's not just about staying on the pole, it's about making a living, one snapshot at a time, in a world that's always watching. Welcome to the original high-stakes seating arrangement, where tradition, tourism, and tenacity all find their place above the waves. The stilt fishermen are just the start. Everyone here is a natural hustler. The southern coast runs on playful, persistent capitalism. Walk the beach and you'll meet a mask seller with a story for every carving. Buy a souvenir, get a legend. Every transaction is a performance. Surfboard rentals come with seafood tips. At a cousin's place, of course. Sarong sellers offer lessons in 12 complicated ways to tie one. It's LinkedIn, but with coconuts and sunshine. The hustle isn't about ripping you off, it's about making a living with a smile. A polite, no thank you is respected, but the stories are worth the chat. You're not just a tourist, you're an audience for world-class storytellers. The real lesson? Resilience, creativity, and the art of making your own luck. You arrive to relax, but you leave with respect for the hustle. Here, faith is woven into daily life, especially for those who live by the sea. Fishermen perform rituals, offer prayers, and decorate boats with religious symbols. Buddha's eyes on the bow, garlands for the gods. These are active prayers, not just decorations. Superstitions rule. Unlucky days, no whistling, no spilled salt. These beliefs offer control in a world ruled by the ocean's whims. Faith is a practical, personal insurance policy. It's not about the afterlife, it's about surviving today. Premiums paid in devotion, dividends paid in survival. The coconut palm is the southern coast's MVP. It's everywhere, beach backdrop, village staple, economic backbone. King coconuts for drinking, brown coconuts for curries, nature's Gatorade and kitchen essential. The husk becomes rope, the shell becomes bowls, the leaves become roofs. Nothing goes to waste, sustainability perfected long before it was trendy. And then there's Arak, a potent spirit distilled from coconut flower sap. Toddy tappers risk life and limb to collect it, turning coconuts into both sustenance and celebration. When life gives you coconuts, you make curry, rope, and a little mischief. The coconut is more than a tree, it's a way of life. Nature's Swiss Army knife, Sri Lankan style. Life here is a daily gamble. One boat returns overflowing, another nearly empty. Victory and disappointment play out side by side on the same beach. The line between a good day and a bad one is razor thin. It's not just fishing, guest houses, vendors, everyone rides the waves of fortune. This uncertainty breeds resilience and a sense of community. The lucky share with the less lucky, knowing fortunes can flip overnight. Empathy and interdependence are survival skills. Here, luck is individual, but survival is collective. The southern coast is a masterclass in taking the good with the bad. Everyone's in the same boat, sometimes literally. That's the real story behind the smiles. Just back from Sri Lanka and hoping to impress at your next party? Maybe you want to avoid the awkward silence or just want to be the person everyone remembers for their stories. Forget scrolling through endless vacation photos. Try dropping some quirky, conversation-sparking facts instead. Trust me, people love a good story, especially when it's unexpected. For starters, did you know Sri Lanka has its very own time zone? It's set to UTC plus 5.5 hours. Not on the hour, not on the quarter, on the half. It's a half-hour rebellion against India, which is just 30 minutes behind. It's like Sri Lanka wanted to say, "We'll do things our way, thank you very much." And then there's the famous Sri Lankan head wobble, a side-to-side motion that can mean yes, maybe, or simply, I hear you. It's a whole language in itself, and it's all in the nuance. Mastering the head wobble is basically a survival skill for visitors. Locals can tell exactly what you mean just by the angle and speed of your wobble. It's a subtle art, and you'll get bonus points if you can pull it off naturally. Next up, short eats. The national obsession when it comes to snacks. These aren't just any snacks, they're a way of life in Sri Lanka. Think savory pastries, spicy rolls, and crispy cutlets, all bursting with flavor and ready to eat on the go. Perfect for a country where everyone seems to be in motion, whether they're catching a bus, heading to work, or just strolling the beach. The name says it all. Grab a bite, eat quickly, and move on. And if you're eating on the beach, you'll probably notice some four-legged company. Those beach dogs? They're not just strays, they're beloved members of the community. Each has its own territory and even a social circle. They act as unofficial greeters, napping under sunbeds, trotting alongside you on your walk, and generally just soaking up the good vibes. These dogs aren't after your food, they're after your company. They'll sit with you, keep you company, and sometimes even pose for your photos. In fact, they're like the Zen masters of the beach, calm, peaceful, and always in the moment. If you're looking for a little mindfulness, just watch a Sri Lankan beach dog. All these little quirks, unique time zones, expressive head wobbles, snack culture, and Zen beach dogs, are what makes Sri Lanka so unforgettable. Share these stories and you'll be the most interesting guest in the room. Who needs a slideshow when you've got tales like these? What do you really take home from Sri Lanka's southern shores? Not just tea, masks, or a sarong you'll never tie again. The real souvenir is a shift in perspective. You learn paradise isn't silent or empty, it's vibrant, noisy, and a little chaotic. Resilience here means bouncing back with humor and hustle. The best stories come from detours and surprises, not perfect plans. You learn to let go, laugh, and enjoy the show. The most beautiful things are rarely perfect. They're a little frayed, a little loud, and full of life. You leave with stories, humility, and a new appreciation for organized chaos. That's the real gift of the southern coast.